Hello, in this video we were gonna exploring the answer for question number 2, determine the multiple regression equation that are consider x1, x2, x3, x4, and x5, and interpreting all 5 partial coefficients. You don't have to interpret the intercept. Okay, so let me go back to our data set again. So in last video, we looked at how we work on the simple linear regression model where we only consider x1, right? So in this video, we are not only including x1, but we need to include x2, x3, and also our dummy variable x4 and x5. Of course, in this data set, we are not seeing our dummy variables yet. We need to creating those dummy variables based on how we define it in this case description. So our x4 is the dummy variable for Erie. So basically, if the home located in Erie will be 1, 0 otherwise. So x5 is dummy variable for Dallas. If x equal to x5, here is a typo. x5 equal to 1, the home is in Dallas, 0 otherwise. Okay, so we need to add in these two dummy variables first. So it is very important when you use Excel to run regression model, all your x variable has to next to each other. So therefore you cannot put your x4 here, x5 here. Instead, you need to including your x4, x5 right next to your other x variables. So what I will do is I will copy this column and paste to column G so that I will save space for x4, x5 here. Okay, let me cut the whole column and paste it. So as you see that I move my location to the last column. Now I'm able to add in my x4. This is it is trying to indicating for if the house is located at the Erie. And then here is x5. This is indicating whether they are in Dallas, right? Okay, so after I do that, it is very helpful, right? But the question is, we cannot deliver that blank. We need to learn how can we fill in those blanks. So for the dummy variable, as you read the case one more time, so we define as if it's located at Erie, it'd be 1 and 0 otherwise. For x5, we use you to indicate in Dallas if the home in Dallas is 1, 0 otherwise. So how can we leverage this two information to help us to fill in those variables? So first of all, think about my first house here is located at Dallas. So what's the value for x4? Let's go back to think about it. So if the house is in Dallas, what's the value for x4? x4 only equal to 1 if the home is in Erie. And if it's in Dallas, the x4 should equal to 0. So then we can go back here to say, you know what? Since the first house is in Dallas, this will be 0. How about the value for x5? Okay, right here. So x5, again, here is the typo here. I will update here to x5. So x5 is the dummy variable for Dallas. So if the home is in Dallas, x5 will equal to 1. So now if you come back here, so it is in Dallas, right? So this should be 1. So basically, instead of, since Excel cannot read, cannot run the regression model with the non-numeric values, so we are converting those non-numeric value to a code. We use 0, 1 to representing Dallas. Okay, 0, 1 representing Dallas. How about the next one, which is, so let's find Erie. Okay, here is Erie. So look at the 14th row. So this house sell $104,300. So the location is at Erie. So what's the value for this house for x4, right? So this house is in Erie. Based on the definition of x4, if the house in Erie, so the dummy variable should equal to 1. So therefore, I'm coming back here to fill in 1. And how about x5? Since this house is in Erie, x5 equal to 1 if it's in Dallas. So since it's not in Dallas, so they will be equal to 0. So now we know that we are using 1 and 0, the combination of 1, 0, to representing if the house is located at Erie. Okay, now the last location is Pullman. So some students say, oh, we don't have any dummy variable for Pullman. how do we know what's the value for x4 and x5, right? So if you think about x4 equal to 1, if the house is in Erie, but since this location is Pullman, so the x4 value has to equal to 0, right? And then for Dallas, x5, since this second house here is in Pullman, so the x5 has to equal to 0 because it's not in Dallas. So basically, we are using 0, 0 to indicating if the house is in Pullman or not. So now, like I said in the lecture video talking when we talk about dummy variable, so the dummy variable is used to indicating one of the value for your categorical data. However, it is the combination of all your dummy variables to representing actual values, right? So now you know if you see the location is in Dallas, you put in 0, 1. If you see a location in Pullman, you put a 0, 0. If you see a location is Erie, it's 1, 0, right? So you definitely can manually to fill in those blanks. So for instance, this one would be 0, 0 since it's in Pullman. So this one would be 0 and 1. Remember, we have more than 300 observations. If you do hand one by hand, you will guarantee make a mistake because it's very easily to type the wrong value or forgot about what is the right code. So how can we avoid that kind of mistakes? So what I want to teach you is we can leveraging the Excel's filter function we learned in the first module. Okay, first select all your columns, every column, including the categorical variable here, okay? Including everything. So after you do so, we come here and then we are going to selecting in the home tab, we are coming here to choose use filter. So we've been using this function many times. So we're going to use that one more time, filter. Okay, so after we do that, let's starting from filter my location. We first filling the dummy variable for the houses located at Dallas. So after click this little arrow on select uncheck everything, only check Dallas and click OK. So we know for Dallas, our dummy variable is corresponding to the Dallas, the dummy variable will be 0 and 1. So after we fill in 0 and 1, we don't have to do every one. So we can use Excel's drag down function. So we select this two value we already fill in for Dallas, because Dallas, all the Dallas has to be 0 and 1. And we move the mouse to the right down corner and drag it down. Okay, so after you do so, perfect. So now we finish filling all the houses that are located in Dallas, dummy variable 0 and 1. So now we move on to the next one, Erie. We uncheck Dallas, check Erie, and click OK. Now for Erie, the dummy variable is 1, 0, so we select this two value we already fill in, and then using the Excel drag down function, move the mouse to the right down corner and then drag it down. Okay, and then the last one is Pullman. We check Pullman and click OK. And then we select the values and move the mouse to the right down corner and drag it down. Okay, so now we finished filling all the dummy variables. There are no empty values. And then we can click this little arrow and check all and click OK. Perfect. So you can see all the Dallas are 0, 1, all the Pullman is 0, 0, and all the Erie is 1, 0. So you using this method will help you to avoid making mistakes, especially your data set is really large. Okay, now after I finish this, I can go to the home tab again and go to my filter and click this filter one more time, and all my filter is gone. Okay, so I think I will separate this video into two separate videos. So in my next video, I will focus on, okay, how can we actually get in our regression equation for this multiple linear regression model, and how can we interpreting the partial coefficient for x1, x2, x3, x4, and x5.